Welcome to today's video, everyone. We often think the foods we eat are good and healthy, but the truth is, some seemingly harmless foods are silently stealing our health. Do you want to know what they are? We're so close to reaching my dream of 10 subscribers, and every new member is so important in helping me continue bringing you new knowledge about senior healthcare and inspiring your day. Thank you so much for your support. Don't worry, in today's video, I'm going to take you through 6 types of foods we should avoid, especially at our age, to live healthier and happier lives. We'll learn about the harm they cause and effective alternatives to protect not only our health, but also that of our loved ones. Food. Type 1, sodium, the silent killer in our meals. A necessary caution to protect senior health. Perhaps at our age, we're all too familiar with those tiny, white salt crystals in our kitchens. We often see salt as an essential seasoning, making our food more flavorful and appealing. But the truth is, behind that familiar salty taste lies a hidden danger, a silent killer that's quietly harming our health, especially those of us at this stage of life. Sodium, the main component of table salt, is a mineral essential for the body, involved in many important processes. But when the amount of sodium in the body exceeds the allowed level, it becomes a dangerous enemy, causing unforeseen consequences. I'd like to share the story of Mrs. Miller, a neighbor of mine. She's a hard-working and kind woman like so many of us. She had a habit of seasoning food quite heavily and especially loved pickled foods. Gradually, she began to feel tired. Her limbs were often swollen, and her blood pressure also rose abnormally. Upon going for an examination, the doctor concluded that she had high blood pressure and advised her to reduce the amount of salt in her diet. Mrs. Miller was very surprised because she always thought she was eating normally, not salty at all. However, her daily eating habits, seemingly harmless, were actually the cause of her serious health problems. I'm sure many of us have experienced something similar to Mrs. Miller, right? So, what makes sodium dangerous when we consume too much? First, there's the issue of high blood pressure. Excess sodium causes the body to retain water, increasing blood volume, and thus creating pressure on blood vessel walls, leading to hypertension. Hypertension often has no obvious symptoms, so it's considered a silent killer. If not controlled in time, high blood pressure can lead to many dangerous complications, such as stroke, heart attack, heart failure, and kidney failure. Can we be indifferent to these risks when our health is becoming more important than ever? Second, there are cardiovascular problems. When blood pressure rises, the heart has to work harder to pump blood throughout the body, which can eventually lead to heart failure and other heart diseases. Excess sodium can also cause heart rhythm disorders, increasing the risk of sudden death. We can't gamble with the health of our hearts, can we? Third, there's the issue of osteoporosis. Excess sodium increases the amount of calcium excreted in urine, reducing bone density, making bones brittle and prone to fractures. This is especially dangerous at our age when bones have become weaker due to the natural aging process. Even a minor slip can have serious consequences, affecting our daily lives. And finally, there's water retention. When the body has excess sodium, it retains water, causing edema, especially in the legs, ankles, and face. This condition causes discomfort, heaviness, and affects our daily activities. So, where are the sources of sodium in our diets? First, it's direct table salt, when we season too much or have a habit of adding salt when we eat. Next, there are processed foods such as canned goods, fast food, sausages, and cold meats, which often contain very high amounts of salt. Then there are pickled foods like pickled vegetables, fermented pickles, fish sauce, and various sauces, which are also significant sources of sodium. In addition, bottled seasonings and dipping sauces like soy sauce, fish sauce, and chili sauce also contain a lot of sodium. And finally, there are packaged foods such as biscuits, snacks, and potato chips, which are also not innocent. So, how can we control the amount of sodium in our diets? The most important thing is that we need to reduce the amount of salt we directly consume. Limit seasoning with too much salt and absolutely avoid adding salt when eating. We need to get used to eating less salt gradually so that our taste buds can adapt. Prioritize fresh, natural foods and minimize processed foods. Pickled foods should also be limited. Instead, let's use natural spices like garlic, onion, ginger, lemongrass, herbs, and various spices. We can try using lemon, vinegar, or herbs to flavor our food instead of salt. At the same time, increase foods rich in potassium such as bananas, oranges, sweet potatoes, dark leafy greens, watermelon, and avocados. When buying packaged foods, we need to read the labels carefully to check the sodium content and choose products with low sodium content. And finally, it's best to cook at home so that we can control the amount of salt and other additives. Controlling the amount of sodium in our diets isn't difficult as long as we have understanding, patience, and care for our own health. Let's act together from today to protect our own health and build a healthier community. I hope this information will give us more knowledge and caution to protect our health in our daily lives. Food. Type 2. Deep-fried and greasy foods. A dangerous allure and negative impact on senior health. Perhaps at our age, we can't deny the appeal of crispy, delicious fried foods. From familiar everyday dishes like fried fish, fried meat, and fried vegetables to snacks like fried donuts, spring rolls, and French fries, they all have a special, irresistible flavor. However, we need to honestly recognize that behind that appeal lie potential dangers to our health, especially for seniors like us. Consuming too many fried foods, especially deep-fried foods, can have significant negative effects on the body. Fried foods are usually prepared by dipping them in boiling oil or fat at high temperatures. This process not only increases the fat content in the food, but also creates unhealthy substances. When oil or fat is heated at high temperatures for a long time, it changes into saturated fats, trans fats, and free radicals, all of which can be harmful to our bodies. So, what are the negative impacts of fried foods? First, fried foods are one of the main causes of increased bad cholesterol, LDL, in the blood. The saturated and trans fats in fried foods increase LDL cholesterol levels, causing atherosclerosis, narrowing blood vessels, and increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke. We can imagine these fats silently blocking the blood vessels in the body. How concerning. Second, fried foods are often very difficult to digest. The large amount of oil or fat in fried foods puts a burden on the digestive system, slowing digestion, causing bloating, indigestion, and belching. This is especially uncomfortable for seniors whose digestive function has declined. Maybe we have all experienced that bloating feeling after eating a fried food, right? Third, consuming too much fried food is also one of the causes of weight gain and obesity. Fried foods are high in calories. When we eat too much without enough exercise, the body will store these excess calories as fat, leading to weight gain and obesity. Being overweight or obese not only affects our figure, but also increases the risk of chronic diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. Fourth, fried foods can also cause joint problems. Inflammatory substances in fried foods can increase inflammation in the body, especially in the joints, causing pain, discomfort, and reducing our mobility. So how can we limit the negative effects of fried foods? The most important thing is that we need to change our cooking habits. Instead of frying, let's prioritize healthier cooking methods such as baking, steaming, boiling, or pan frying. When cooking by baking, we can preserve the natural flavor of food without using too much oil or fat. Steaming is also a great method, helping to retain the nutrients in the food. We can imagine a plate of steamed fish with fresh vegetables, both healthy and delicious. If we still want to fry, we should limit the amount of oil or fat used and choose healthy oils such as olive oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, or rice bran oil. We should also avoid using oil that has been used for frying several times, as it can contain harmful substances. And another great solution is to use an air fryer. With an air fryer, we can prepare crispy dishes without using too much oil or fat. Let's try making French fries with an air fryer, both delicious and healthy. Changing eating habits is not easy, but for the sake of our health and loved ones, let's try to take small steps. Let's choose healthier cooking methods and use healthy oils to protect our bodies from the negative effects of fried foods. Food. Type 3 foods made from white flour, a warning about the convenience at the expense of health in old age. We often see soft white bread, delicious biscuits, or fine white noodles in our daily meals. They offer convenience, speed, and are sometimes favorite foods for many people. However, the truth is that behind that appealing appearance lie dangers that we need to be aware of, especially for seniors like us. Consuming too many foods made from white flour, also known as refined flour, can have significant negative impacts on our health. White flour is created after the process of grinding and removing the bran and germ, which are rich in fiber, vitamins, and important minerals. This refining process, although making the flour smoother and whiter, also takes away its essential nutritional values. This raises the question, is the convenience of these foods worth trading for the potential health risks? So, what are the negative impacts that foods made from white flour can cause at our age? First, we need to talk about the lack of fiber. Foods made from white flour usually contain very little fiber, a component that is extremely important for the digestive system. Fiber helps to soften stool, aids bowel movements, and prevents constipation. When we consume too many foods from white flour without supplementing enough fiber from other sources, the risk of constipation will increase, especially for seniors. When the digestive system has begun to decline, do we feel uncomfortable when we have digestive problems? Next, there's the issue of blood sugar. Foods from white flour often have a high glycemic index, meaning that after eating, the amount of sugar in the blood will increase rapidly. This can cause insulin resistance and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, a chronic disease that is becoming increasingly common among seniors. We can't ignore these risks, can we? In addition, foods made from white flour offer little nutritional value but contain quite a few calories. They provide energy for the body but do not provide enough of the necessary vitamins and minerals. This nutritional imbalance can lead to many health problems such as fatigue, weakness, and reduced immunity. And one more important point is the link between foods made from white flour and cardiovascular diseases. Consuming too many foods with a high glycemic index and low fiber can increase bad cholesterol in the blood, causing atherosclerosis and increasing the risk of heart disease. So how can we limit the negative effects of foods made from white flour? The best solution is that we need to replace these foods with healthier options, which are whole grains. Whole grains are those that still retain the bran and germ, which contain most of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Grains such as brown rice, oats, barley, corn, and beans not only provide enough energy for the body but also bring many health benefits. Let's try replacing breakfast with a bowl of oatmeal or a plate of brown rice, sticky rice. When making cakes or other dishes, we can use whole wheat flour instead of white flour. Whole wheat flour still retains part of the bran and germ, helping to provide more fiber and nutrients than white flour. We should also increase our intake of green vegetables, a great source of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. At the same time, limit processed foods made from white flour such as white bread, biscuits, and pastries. Changing eating habits is not an easy task, but for the sake of our health and loved ones, let's try to make positive changes Let's start by choosing healthier foods and limiting foods that are harmful to our health. Food type 4, caffeinated and carbonated drinks, sweet convenience, hiding negative effects in old age. In today's busy life, perhaps many of us have become too familiar with strong cups of coffee, fragrant cups of tea, or refreshing cans of soda. They not only provide alertness, but are also a part of our habits, a part of modern life. However, we need to honestly recognize that behind that convenience and appealing taste lie significant negative impacts on health, especially for seniors like us. Consuming too many caffeinated and carbonated drinks can cause alarming consequences that we need to consider carefully. Caffeine, a natural stimulant found in coffee, tea, and some other drinks, can bring a sense of alertness and immediate refreshment. However, when we consume too much caffeine, it will cause negative effects on our bodies. Similarly, carbonated drinks, which often contain large amounts of sugar and additives, can also cause significant health problems. So, what are the negative impacts of caffeinated and carbonated drinks? First, we need to talk about dehydration. Caffeine is a diuretic, increasing urine output and causing dehydration in the body. When the body is not provided with enough water, we will feel tired, lethargic, and have difficulty concentrating. This is especially dangerous for seniors, whose bodies tend to lose water faster than younger people. Do we often feel thirsty after drinking coffee or tea? Next, there's the issue of sleep. Caffeine can cause insomnia, especially when we drink it in the afternoon or evening. Lack of sleep will affect our overall health, causing fatigue, stress, and impairing memory. For seniors, sleep plays a very important role in restoring health, and lack of sleep can cause serious consequences. In addition, caffeine can also cause cardiovascular problems. Caffeine can increase heart rate and blood pressure, causing anxiety, palpitations, and increasing the risk of heart disease. For those who already have heart conditions, consuming caffeine can cause dangerous complications. Carbonated drinks often contain a lot of sugar, causing a sudden increase in blood sugar, and can cause insulin resistance. Consuming too much sugar can also lead to weight gain, obesity, and increase the risk of chronic diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. We often think these sweet drinks are harmless, but in reality, they are completely different, right? Carbonated drinks can also cause digestive problems. The gas in drinks can cause bloating, indigestion, and increase the symptoms of acid reflux. So, how can we limit the negative effects of caffeinated and carbonated drinks? The most important thing is that we need to replace these drinks with healthier options. Plain water is a great choice, helping to provide enough water for the body without causing any side effects. We can add a slice of lemon or a few slices of cucumber to make the water tastier. Coconut water is a source of natural electrolytes, helping to replenish water and provide energy for the body. Yogurt is a source of calcium, protein, and probiotics, very good for the digestive system. Herbal teas like chamomile tea, mint tea, and ginger tea are also great options, helping to relax, reduce stress, and improve sleep. Unsweetened natural fruit juices are also a great source of vitamins and minerals. Let's try replacing our daily cup of coffee with a cup of herbal tea. We should also gradually reduce the amount of caffeine in our diet and try to avoid drinking coffee or strong tea in the afternoon or evening. At the same time, minimize the consumption of carbonated and sugary drinks. Changing eating habits is not an easy task, but for the sake of our health and our loved ones, let's try to take small steps. Let's choose healthier drinks and limit drinks that are not good for our health. Food type 5. High sugar foods, the appealing sweetness, hiding the dangers in old age. Perhaps at our age, we can't deny the appeal of sweet cakes, candies, and delicious sugary drinks. They often bring a sense of comfort and sometimes become an essential part of daily life. However, we need to seriously recognize that behind that appealing sweetness lie potential dangers to health, especially for seniors like us. Consuming too much high-sugar foods can have negative effects that we need to consider carefully. Sugar, a simple carbohydrate, can provide energy for the body. However, when we consume too much sugar, it will cause negative effects on health. Cakes, candies, and sugary drinks often contain large amounts of refined sugar, which has no nutritional value and can cause serious problems. So, what are the negative effects of high-sugar foods? First, we need to talk about the issue of sudden blood sugar spikes. When we eat too many high-sugar foods, the blood sugar in the blood will rise rapidly. This can cause insulin resistance and increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, a common chronic disease in seniors. Did you know that sweet cakes and candies can often raise blood sugar quickly? Next, there's the issue of inflammation. Consuming too much sugar can cause inflammation in the body, increasing the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease, arthritis, and cancer. Sugar can also weaken the immune system, making the body susceptible to infections and other diseases. In addition, sugar is also one of the causes of tooth decay. Sugar is the favorite food of bacteria that cause tooth decay, and when we eat too many sweets, the risk of tooth decay increases, especially for seniors whose teeth have become weaker. And one more important effect is that consuming too much sugar can lead to weight gain and obesity. Sugar provides a lot of calories, and when we consume too much without enough exercise, the body will store this excess calories as fat, causing weight gain and obesity. So, how can we limit the negative effects of high-sugar foods? The most important thing is that we need to replace these foods with healthier options. Fresh fruits are a source of natural vitamins, minerals, and fiber, while providing a natural sweetness to food. Let's try eating an orange or an apple after a meal to both satisfy our sweet tooth and benefit our health. Dried fruits are also a good choice, but we should eat them in moderation. Natural sweeteners such as honey, maple syrup, or palm sugar can also be used, but we should use them in moderation. Remember, enough is always better than too much. We should also minimize the consumption of cakes, candies, and sugary drinks. Let's choose low-sugar foods and increase the amount of green vegetables and fresh fruits in our daily diet. Food. Type 6. Red meat. The trade-off between taste and potential danger. A choice to consider as you age. Perhaps at our age, we are familiar with red meat, especially beef and lamb, which many people love. We often think that red meat is a rich source of protein and iron essential for the body. However, for seniors, enjoying red meat dishes raises a special consideration because behind that unique flavor, there are hidden dangers that we need to be aware of. At this age, our bodies have undergone many changes from the digestive system to the cardiovascular and skeletal systems. Consuming too much red meat can cause negative effects that we need to consider carefully to protect our health and maintain our quality of life. So, what are the negative effects of consuming too much red meat for seniors? First, we need to talk about cardiovascular issues, one of the top concerns for seniors. Red meat, especially the fatty parts, contains a large amount of saturated fat and cholesterol. These substances can increase bad cholesterol levels in the blood, causing atherosclerosis and increasing the risk of heart diseases such as angina, heart attack, and stroke. These are extremely dangerous complications that can seriously affect our health and even our lives. We cannot be indifferent to these risks, can we? Second, the digestive system of seniors tends to be less effective than that of younger people. Red meat is a difficult to digest food, especially when prepared with fried methods that use lots of oil. When we eat too much red meat, we may experience problems such as bloating, indigestion, belching, and even constipation. These symptoms are not only uncomfortable but also affect the absorption of other nutrients from food. Maybe we have all experienced that bloating feeling after eating a hearty red meat meal, right? Third, for seniors who are at risk of or have gout, eating too much red meat can make their condition worse. Red meat contains a lot of purines, a substance that, when metabolized in the body, produces uric acid. When the level of uric acid In the blood is high, it can crystallize and settle in the joints, causing severe gout attacks. Should we gamble with these pains? Fourth, some studies also show that consuming too much red meat may increase the risk of colon cancer, especially in seniors. This is an issue that we need to pay close attention to. So how can we limit the negative effects of red meat on the health of seniors? The most important thing is that we need to adjust the amount of red meat in our diet. It is not necessary to completely eliminate red meat, but we need to reduce the frequency and amount of red meat consumed daily. Instead of eating red meat too often, let's prioritize healthier sources of protein, such as poultry, especially chicken, fish, and plant-based proteins. Chicken and fish usually contain less saturated fat and cholesterol than red meat, while providing omega-3 fatty acids that are very good for the heart and brain. Plant-based proteins found in beans, mushrooms, and soy products are also a great choice, as they provide enough protein without containing a lot of saturated fat, cholesterol. Let's try replacing a beef meal with a steamed fish with vegetables. When preparing red meat, we should prioritize healthier methods such as boiling, steaming, or baking instead of frying with lots of oil. And most importantly, we need to build a balanced diet with a variety of foods and not just focus on one type of food. My dear friends, so we have together explored the 6 types of food we should avoid, especially at our age, to have better health and a happier life. I know that changing eating habits that have become ingrained is not easy, but I believe that with our understanding and determination, we can completely build a healthy diet suitable for ourselves so that every day is full of energy and happiness. I would like to reiterate once again, the 6 types of foods that we need to pay special attention to are foods high in sodium, deep-fried and greasy foods, foods made from white flour, caffeinated and carbonated drinks, high sugar foods, and red meat. Remember that we do not need to completely eliminate these foods, but what is important is that we need to control the amount of consumption, choose healthy substitutes, and build scientific eating habits. And now, I have a question for you, dear viewers. Of the 6 types of foods that I have just shared, are there any that you are consuming every day? Or have you had any great experiences in changing your diet? Please share with me and everyone in the comments below the video. Your valuable shares will not only help me, but also help many people who are interested in this issue to have more motivation and experience to take care of their health. I sincerely thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. If you find this video useful, don't hesitate to press the like button to support me. And don't forget to share this video with your loved ones to spread these meaningful messages together. To not miss the next useful videos, please press the subscribe button to my channel. And don't forget to click on the bell icon to receive notifications whenever there is a new video. Once again, thank you very much. Wish you always have good health and a peaceful and happy life. Goodbye and see you in the next videos.